me this opportunity to chair this session. I once again thank you. The 26th meeting of Conference of Parties, COP26, is now approaching. The temperature for the negotiation is heating up. The developed world, led by US and UK, is pushing to secure commitments of net zero greenhouse gases emission by 2050 from all nations individually. At the recent pre-COP26 event hosted by Italy, the key message was for large developing countries individually to sign up net zero by 2050. The message was clearly aimed at China, India, Brazil, South Africa, plus Russia, Turkey, Indonesia, and Saudi Arabia. Indeed, they are all clubbed as major emitters. The Energy and Climate Intelligence Unit, UK, has a website tracking Race to Net Zero. It lists Suriname and Bhutan already achieved it. 12 countries and European Union as a bloc has enshrined in law, while 3 have legislation in progress. Further, 5 countries have net zero targets before 2050. These are Finland, they have pledged by 2035, Austria 2040, Iceland 2040, Germany 2045, and Sweden 2045. Energy sector accounts for approximately 65% of the global greenhouse gas emission. This needs to be reduced dramatically, eventually eliminated to meet the goals of Paris Agreement. The sector is also facing challenges which are generally interlinked. We may include rising population and increase in energy demand, providing access to roughly 700 million people who are currently unserved, which require new power capacity and infrastructure expansion in various countries. Energy sector transition process needs enhanced international cooperation to facilitate sharing of experiences and access to clean energy research and technology, including renewable energy, energy efficiency, and advanced hydrogen and biofuel technology. IRENA estimates that over 90% of its solution will involve energy through directly supply, electrification, energy efficiency, and green hydrogen. Renewable energy is the fastest growing energy source in India. Indian renewable energy sector is the 4th most attractive renewable energy market in the world. Investment in renewable exceeded fossil fuel power investment for the 5th year in a row. India was ranked 4th in wind power, 5th in solar power, and 4th in renewable power installed capacity as of 2021. Till now, 100 gigawatt has been installed, 50 gigawatt is under installation, and 27 gigawatt is under tendering stage. India has also enhanced its ambition to install 450 gigawatt of renewable energy capacity by 2030. If large hydro is included, installed RE capacity has already been achieved 146 gigawatt plus. In 2020, even while economies bent under weight of COVID-19 lockdown, renewable sources of energy such as wind and solar PV continues to grow rapidly, and electric vehicles set new sales record. The new energy economy will be more electrified, efficient, interconnected, and clean. In most markets, solar PV or wind now represents the cheapest available source of new electricity generation. There are certain challenges with respect to renewable energy: intermittency, variability, grid integration, highly considerable impact on geopolitical conditions like variation in module prices, change in law, and others. Despite all these factors, renewable energy has undertaken a global adoption as a means to alleviate climate change. This is the free of direct pollution and carbon emission. It is the most feasible substitute of fossil fuel. With time, it is becoming an inevitable part of mix of energy production. Net energy emission, which refers to achieving the overall balance between the greenhouse gas emission produced and greenhouse gas emission taken out of the atmosphere, keeping global temperature to safe levels requires governments to swiftly adopt comprehensive climate policy packages. There is a need of climate pledges by government till date, even if fully achieved, would fall well short of what is required to bring global energy related carbon dioxide emission to net zero by 2050 and give the world an even chance to limiting the global temperature rise by 1.5. First of all, it has to be examined the impact of announced net zero emission pledges and what they might mean for the sector. After that, the new energy sector pathways will be required to be developed towards achieving net zero emission globally by 2050. Government has to set out key policy to act upon in near terms and a long-term agenda for a change in to achieve net zero goals, including with a view to reaching sustainable development goals as per UN. Principles to be followed. One is technology neutrality, which is as if described, which can be described as a freedom of individual and organization to choose the most appropriate and suitable technology for their needs and requirements for development, acquisition, use of commercialization without dependencies on knowledge involved as a information or data. Universal cooperation, international universal cooperation in which all countries contribute to net zero with an eye to just transition and where advanced economies lead. Minimizing volatility, an orderly transition that seek minimize stranded assets where possible, while ensuring energy security and minimizing volatility in energy market. Milestones set up by the roadmap. More than 400 milestones to guide the global journey to net zero by 2050, which include fossil fuel. No investment in new fossil fuel supply project and no further final investment decision for the new unabated coal plants. Second is a vehicle sale. No sale of new internal combustion engine passenger cars by 2035. Electricity generation. The global energy sector should reach net zero emission by 2040. It calls for annual addition of solar power to reach 630 gigawatt by 2030 and those of wind power to reach 390 gigawatts per annum. Together, this is the 4 times the record level set in 2020. It suggests that the following on global electricity generation towards 2050, 714% more renewable, 104% more nuclear, 93% less coal, and all remaining coal with carbon capture and storage. For making this energy transition and pave way for strategies to achieve net zero emission by 2050, there must be urgent political leadership at local, national, and international levels, clear national targets and timetables, broad stakeholders' engagements, and enabling policy frameworks that focus for job creation, economic wins, and environmental benefits, while ensuring that transition is a just one in broader sense, and RE will provide the major contribution to reach net zero. In past, we have been misusing our resources that impacted the Mother Earth and climate to such an extent that we are facing survival issues. We need to behave responsibly to recreate our world, which is more green, more sustainable, more livable, and more beautiful, wherein we want our children, they can live with a smile. The best gift we can give them from this forum. Thanking you. This is all my address. Before I take out this presentation to be started, I would like to give a brief introduction of our presenters. Mr. Sujay Ghosh is a Vice President for First Solar, Managing Director, Manufacturing of Business Development. He joined First Solar in 2012 and has supervised development of utility scale solar assets from 2014 to 18 to operationalizing a fully integrated 3.3 gigawatt per annum manufacturing facility in India that was announced in 2021 to serve the needs of the India market. He also oversaw First Solar's region operation in the Middle East and more recently Asia Pacific. Sujay is over 30 years of industry experience in India, and since last 5 years, he led GE's thermal product and renewable sales in India, Sri Lanka, and Bangladesh. Prior to joining GE, Sujay worked for 13 years in Tata Honeywell in sales, market development, handling technology platform from distributed control systems, safety systems, and advanced control and optimization packages. Across business verticals, it is manufacturing, utility, and oil and gas vertical. Mr. Sujay will give presentation on recyclable, sustainable solar. Our next presenter is Mr. Deepak Khare, CEO of NG for wind development, implementation, and operation. He is passionate in leading India's energy transition, playing lead role for 24 years plus in greenfield utility scale power generation project. In last 10 years, 3 gigawatt plus developed renewables, both solar and PV wind. During first 14 years, he is instrumental in 10 gigawatt plus thermal coal-based development projects across pan-India as EPCC and developer, and contributed at large power sector Indian MNCs, IPPs, EPC, conglomerate, Welspun Renewables, Reliance Energy, Jindal Power, Hindalco, Renu Sagar Power Plant, etc. Mr. Deepak will give presentation on wind energy, sustainable and affordable source. Our next presenter is Mr. Ramesh Kumar. Is the Additional Director, Program and Projects, International Solar Alliance, with more than 33 years of experience. He joined NTPC in 1988 as engineering executive training and worked in project construction in Farakka, Panipat, etc., and various capacities like thermal power plant planning, monitoring, construction, commissioning, maintenance. Joined Solar Energy Corporation of India, New Delhi as General Manager Technical, successfully implemented 750 megawatt VGF scheme, 2000 megawatt scheme for Government of India, and projects like solar parks, solar rooftop solar program, hybrid project, solar wind, and large capacity battery storage with World Bank support. Mr. Ramesh is presently heading the solar park program unit for implementation of large scale projects in member countries. Mr. Ramesh Kumar will give presentation on towards sustainable energy with solar. Our fourth presenter is Mr. Sampath, President and CEO of Samkitech Resources, has more than 39 years of experience in engineering projects and about 17 years of exclusive experience in plastic packaging, recycling, and waste management. 13 years tenure in Bharat Petroleum Corporation Limited in engineering and projects. Chairman, Southern Chapter, National Solid Waste Association of India. Managing Director in Pyro Green Energy Private Limited, projects and activities. Worked on technology for converting plastics to fuel, promoting technologies for municipal waste segregation, biomethanization, waste to energy, e-waste cycling, rapid composting, etc. Offer MSW segregation line for BMH Finland, power plant from SFA, Swiss biogas plant from ATT, Australia. He recently developed a technology to compost organic waste into compost in waste. Mr. Sampath will give presentation on plastic waste to fuel, oil or electricity.